Welcome to another Slate Source recap. Today we're gonna see the progress on the platform, how far we've come in the project. We're gonna see some slates, some demos, and how we've grown as a community. So stay tuned and let's get into it. For new joiners, we are building a platform to change the way we build things on the internet. I know it sounds like a lot, but we're actually achieving good foundations and now it's looking quite good. I'm sure everyone who tried to create a website knows it's not as straightforward as expected, even today with modern tools. So that's why we want to create a platform that can offer modules to create web pages, kind of like a Lego set for the internet. So for example, a module can be a lot of different things. Mostly at the moment it's productivity related, for example managing tasks or goals, but in the future we can just think of anything, and those modules, they're tiny blocks that you can add onto your web page, which overall creates a topic or anything that you can think of. It's kind of a Wikipedia on steroids, with much more focus on the user experience and creating modules to allow your creativity to really reach its full potential. Anyway, it's a lot of talking. I know it's hard to grasp the idea at first, so that's why I want to show you examples, give you an update on the progress and everything that's been happening so that you can understand what we're going for. In the end, very simply, the project is about building something that people can use so that they can build and share other things. Yeah, welcome to Slate Source. The user experience is very important to me, so I try to improve it whenever I can. It's mostly small things like changing the titles on a button hover or changing how a slate is displayed, and all of the tiny things all put together really adds to the value of the platform. So if this is your thing, polishing UI and making sure the user experience is the best possible, make sure to follow Slate Source on TikTok, Instagram or YouTube, because I post short video content for those small updates. That's also where we can discuss the features and what makes sense, or just comment how you feel about the updates. Another thing I tried to improve was performances in general.
Left 5 extra long to 70.
Medium left, medium left, medium left! Listen to my calls!
Thanks to the page speed insights from Google, I can see what needs to be improved. After some time, it started to look really good, but of course there's still room for improvement. As I mentioned before, this platform is for building and sharing content. Currently the building part is for me and very special accounts, just so that we can focus on the sharing part. So the sharing part is what I worked on the past few weeks. Basically, we recently migrated to server-side rendering, which allows us to have custom images when sharing a Slate Source link. And also you can decide what title, what description you can give to the link you're sharing. And on top of that, I integrated an overview image that is generated so that it gives all the necessary information to the slate without even having to open the link. And I think that's kind of cool. Fun fact, it was a pain in the ass to make the titles fit properly. First, I had to find a way to break the line without breaking words that can fit in a line. In the end, to have something like this and not like this. And when I finally figured out how to make sure words are not cut in the middle, I also had to handle because they are too long, and I'm sure one of you will want to name a slate something like this. So I spent some more time on it and now it's perfect. This is not my favorite part because I suck at it, but I need to create slates to showcase the different use cases of creating slates. As a first example, I wanted to make it in the animals and pets category, so I decided to create a tutorial on how to keep shrimps as a pet for beginners. Let's dive into it. Here we are in the Slate Source catalog. So let's find our slates. Let's go to the animals and pets category. I already know where to go, so we go to the shrimps. Okay, yeah, this UI needs a bit of work, but it's not the focus for today. So we have our slate setting up a freshwater shrimp tank. And this will be you can imagine as a tutorial or onboarding for beginners if they want to set up a freshwater shrimp tank. I have shrimps of my own and they are awesome, so I hope this might pique interest to some of you. So as you can see, first off on the left side you have the slate's main information. This is the first thing you should look at when you look at a slate. And you have at first the banner, which this is where you can like or remove a like from a slate. And you have the title, the category, if it's public or private, and then some analytics when it was created. And then the tabs. So the tabs each have their own purpose, and we're going to start with the first one, the overview. This is where you have all the information or kind of the introduction of the slate. This is a rich text editor, kind of like Notion or other application that allows you to create texts with images and add a bunch of things. Right now the components you can add in this text editor are pretty simple. It's mostly title, descriptions and images. But in the future I'm going to add custom components such as referencing a slate directly in your text or things like that. So as you can see, this is really simple. Just text introduction on what you need to do to keep a shrimp tank. Then if you decide you really want to get into it, you can go to the shopping list tab, and this is task tab, and the tasks are used as a shopping list. So each task has the title, what it is, a description, and then you have an estimation of the costs and for each group of tasks you have the overall cost estimation, which gives you a rough idea of how much it would cost to keep shrimps. And if you noticed here, you have text telling you clone this slate to manage and customize its tasks for yourself. So that means if you have an account, you can clone the slate and then you can just complete the tasks for yourself and use this slate as a template. So you don't have to create any task, you just clone it and then you can just change the text, change the tasks and use it for yourself. And then this is just to showcase a bit the tabs, to show you that here you can have the analytics, you can see how many people see your slate. Then you have another tab for the links, any external references to learning how to keep shrimps. And that's basically it. This was how to set up a freshwater shrimp tank as a slate. Thanks, and let's go back to the recap. So there you go, one example on how you can create slates to create educational content for basically any topic. Now, I also wanted to share another quick example to move away from the educational side and more on the narration and storytelling. So recently I had an accident and I broke my leg, and I couldn't really find anything on the internet. I found things, but it wasn't really straightforward and it was a bit hard to follow. But I wanted to see what I was getting into because I had no idea what I could expect from my recovery, how long and stuff like this. Of course you have doctors telling you what to expect, but it's nice when you can research by yourself and be reassured by other testimonies. So I wanted to create a testimony myself. As we go to the categories, I created one for rehabilitation for my broken leg. And so if you're sensitive to X-ray images, you can maybe skip 2 minutes, else let's get into it. So basically I created a slate for my recovery journey, which is one tab, the timeline, and it shows basically all the major events so that if anyone is going through the same thing, they can go through the events, see for themselves what they can expect, or just if they're interested in the journey. And that's pretty much it. Currently I'm still in recovery, so that's why I don't post as much content, but I'm slowly gaining my capacities again and will be fine in a month or two probably. And yeah, that's it for this example. So I hope this tickled your creativity and made you wonder what else you can create with a slate. And if it didn't, well, don't worry, because you can follow for more. So make sure to subscribe on our social medias and stay tuned for more. As always, I try to create enough content for you guys to show you the progress of the project, whether it's on YouTube or TikTok. I paused a bit the YouTube trailers for tab releases, as this is not so much the focus anymore. I think we have enough tab to create a lot of slates, which will help us validate the prototype and grow the community. We already have a few collaborators other than myself, and for that I'm really grateful. So if you are interested about this project and believe it has potential, check out the description below on how to join. On that note, we are done for the second recap. Thank you so much for your attention, and again, check out the description if you want to get into the project, either as a follower or as a creator, and I will see you on the next one.